Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing how to do PAK C. So in order to get into the Combiata, which is our KERR's varsity group, you need to do this PAK plus A and B before you do this PAK. But anyway, if you did A and B, I'm hoping you have some fundamental understanding of what the basics are, right? So just to review real quick, I have a more in-depth video of what a hand frame is, and hopefully I can get to shifting soon, because it's something that I still need to work on too, but I think I have some really good points that could be useful. So basically, hand frame. First, hopefully you have a good hand frame, right? Hand frame means you don't have to reach for your fourth finger. You don't have to reach for your fourth finger. That's not a good thing, because then, or a hand frame means that you're not only using your wrist to change strings, because that's a problem when you get to fast pieces and it's like, whoa, I can't. Oh, I can reach my pinky fine right here, right? But oh, I can't do it right here. So checklist: make sure you're always moving your elbow to change strings, and make sure you're never reaching for a fourth finger, and that helps you. That helps you with fast passages like. You see how my elbow moves instead of my just wrist, and that will help with being more in tune, I guess. But there's a more in-depth video about that, right? Okay, and also for shifting, make sure you're never leading with your wrist first, right? When you shift, you're always leading with your arm. So basically, if I was to shift in slow motion, it'd look like this. I move my arm first, and then my arm sort of drags my hands with it. See? Slow motion again. Boom. You see how this comes first, always first? And you see how my elbow's always going in when I shift, right? When you shift, it's always going, you're always going to go like this. You're always going to go towards your body, towards your body, towards your body, right? Towards your body, towards your body, towards your body. You see how my thumb never leaves the instrument, right? Some people have really long hand, like big hands, right? So they can just leave their thumb here. But if you don't have big hands, once you get to higher positions, you see how my thumb goes around the ridge of the instrument? Well, yeah. There's gonna be more, I'm gonna make a more in-depth video about shifting later, but today, we're gonna focus on PAK C. Enough? Okay. So, now that hopefully you have a good basic understanding of shifting and bow technique. First, we're gonna do the just the first measure, right? So how am I gonna do that? So to count 6/8, hopefully you know how to count 12/8. It's just every beat gets 3/8 notes, which is basically almost a triplet. So you'd like 1, 2, 3. Da, 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 or the triplet, 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 right? So on. Okay, so basically, now that hopefully you know how to count that. The first key detail of playing this piece effectively while playing at a really high BPM, right? That wasn't clean, huh? Nice, that was better. Make sure for your first, okay, this is, I'm gonna edit in something here, but make sure you're finding ways to make the piece easier. So for instance, in this case, after these notes, once you get to the D and string across the A, make sure you place your finger where it's like almost you're doing a double stop. And why is that, right? Because all you have to do now is just move your elbow over, which goes back to the hand frame thing. And make sure you already have your first finger repaired, right? You see how my first finger is already prepared? my finger was between both the D, A string and E string, or an easier just note. So I don't have to do this, make it harder on myself and add more tension by doing this. Like a lot of people just lift between perfect fifths, which is basically notes. Well, the same notes, well, the same finger, but it's like, you know, perfect fifth. Anyway, I digress. It's just like the same position, okay, and it's called a perfect fifth. So all you have to do is just shift over just to make the note. And my first finger is already there, so all I had to do basically, I reduced basically 3 steps, or like 4 steps into like 2 steps. All I have to do is just move over, lift my third finger up, and put it back down, right? Simple. Then the next major thing, right? I think it's more efficient to shift up to the last triplet. I think I'll put it right here, the last triplet of that bar, just so you don't have to do some nonsense like. So once you hear it, notice my elbow went first. Hopefully I did. Maybe I have to fix that. I'll have to rewatch. And once you get here, we're back at the perfect. This time, I don't think you have enough time to prepare your finger. And maybe it differs from every instrument, but this time I don't think you can really do a perfect fifth like how we did with the D and A, where I put my third finger between both strings. I don't think you have the. I don't think the E string allows you to do that really well without having like clean sound. Well, maybe you can, but if you can, that's perfect, right? But in this case, I can't. Right, and then I go to G, which is a perfect fit. It's right across from each other. So don't lift up and change like your position of the finger, right? It's the same spot. Just move your elbow over. Right? Oops. And now you're playing F, right? How do you do that? Okay, first, once you do this, once you're over at G, right? Make sure you're like your mind is mentally prepared to play the F, which checklist, right? Like you're almost once you're playing the G, right? You're basically playing a chord. You're almost playing a chord when you play the G's, because you know why? Because you already have your fourth finger down. You're ready. You're ready for the next set of notes. Like when you practice, I'm saying this again. My teacher says it all the time. When you practice, you gotta find ways to make things easier for you. And if it's easier for you, obviously you're gonna play better. So, right? And I'm already there. Like I don't change. I barely do any movement. Well, I obviously have to move my elbow back a little bit, right? But I'm ready. I'm ready because it's a fast piece, right? You gotta be prepared for that. Okay, now we're at the next set of notes. Now we're gonna stay in position, and not. I'm gonna say it again, but we're gonna go back to hand frame, right? Or just moving your elbow. Oops. Oops, okay. You see how my elbow moved? And all these notes are in the same, they're right across from each other. So what do I mean by that? Right across from each other. All I have to do is move my elbow. G, that's C and F, F and C. Now I'm playing G and D. And A and E. And then B flat, right? And F. So really, what I really just have to do, right? All I have to do is just move my elbow over, right? It's the same. So keep your fingers like keep them in the same position where you have the E string, but just like not just move them over, right? Now you can do the next set of notes really easily. But make sure you move your elbow over, right? It will not work if you move your elbow over. You're gonna play out of tune, which I did earlier, right? So make sure you move your elbow over and keep the fingers the same. And once you do after that, you're gonna shift down. I'm gonna put the fingerings here, right, and then go back to C natural, and boom, you're there. Nice, right? Now for the next set of notes, what I want you to do is make sure you have your first finger down, right? First finger down on your root note. Why? Because I don't want you to do this. It's gonna be very awkward. It's gonna be very hard. Like once you don't have any tapes, right? You're gonna need fingers to have relative distances of half steps, whole steps, right? So what I like to do is just put my first finger down, so I can just have like a stable left hand frame. So I don't have to, guess. So make sure you accent too. How are you gonna accent, right? How are you gonna accent the note? How are you gonna accent the notes? Well, you're gonna accent with your index finger, obviously. Hopefully you know that if you got to PAK C by now, right? Accent with the index finger is very important. If judges, how to stand out from the others is basically you have accents, right? Or like you just do, it's just not about the notes. It's also about the other stuff too, right? So make sure you do the accents. And also make sure your accents are even. Mine's are probably not even, but all with my index finger. All with my index finger, right? All with my index finger. So I'm going back, up, yeah. Anywho, okay, now we're going past that. I think the rest is just self-explanatory, to be honest. That's okay. I just thought of something. Don't mind the pulling. It's kind of bad. Anyway, okay. Now we were into this next set of notes. Right? Make sure your F natural is always set. Okay, it's your anchor. Okay, for now. Right, and you see how it never moves. Now I minimized. I took away one step so I can make life easier on myself, right? Now all I have to do is just play the C, A, C, and wait, A, G, and C, right? Just back and forth. And then once you get to the shift, oh, that's bad tune. But anyway, yeah. If you're having trouble tuning with the tuning like me, intonation like me, right? Just do one at a time. Right? It makes you just do it before you do the double stops. Or if you're having trouble with the double stops, just do the double stops first. Right? Just do that. Also, a good bow placement indicator. So you're doing these heavy accents, I'll do down at over here. And I didn't mention this before, but if you're gonna do the fast parts, you should do like maybe middle of the bow. Now we're finished with the piece, right? I think. And if you can digest this video somehow, I don't think it's really cohesive, but hopefully you took at least one thing out of this. That's really what I hoped for. Okay, so really make sure. I'm gonna sum everything up now. Make sure your left hand frame, left hand very important. I say this all the time, right? It just makes life a lot easier for yourself. Anywhere up here when you're shifting, down here when you're just doing your little fast notes, and also make sure to look for anchor notes. Anchor notes as in like over here. Right? You see how my F never moved. So make sure you do that. And also make sure to look for perfect fifths like at the beginning of the piece. You see how like just all I had to do was move over. Perfect fifths, double stop. Right? And also up here. And also make sure to just prepare notes, okay? Prepare notes. Like it's the same idea as It's the same idea with like perfect fifths. Make sure that F is already there, okay? So those are the main points of this video. Thank you for watching.